name is Adil and today we will have this topic writing argumentative essays. Let's begin. The first rule of argument you should be to consider logical discourse. Logical discourse. Less as a battle for supremacy and more than a temple to work as a community that communicates in an effort to arrive at true, or at least when it comes to practical matters and decision making, to arrive at compromising that make life easier and enjoyable. Writing is successful. Writing a successful argument. Writing takes place in three very bold stages. What do you do before you begin the first draft? What do you do during the writing of the first draft? And what do you do after you completed the first draft? Writing a paper is more like decorating a room. The following outline will help you to track the step of processing of writing uh, an argument. An argument before you writing. Know yourself. The second one is know your audience. Know your audience. The next one, choose and narrow topic. Write a sentences that express your claim. The next one is gather ideas, brainstorming and research. The last one is organize your ideas. Let's look at these topics. Before you're writing, you should spend a great deal of time just preparing to write your first draft. Know yourself. To write a good argument, must want to write a good argument, and you must willing to inventor your critical thinking disposition. Are you prepared to be precise and accurate? To offer only premises you believe to be true, to fairly represent opposite point of view, to credit your source, and so forth. Know your audience. Some writers present arguments as if the writer were either an achievement or a devoted fan. Neither is usually the case, but let's suppose for a moment that one or the other is true. Anticipate your reader reaction. On the basis of what you know about the topic and your audience, try to determine how your audience might react to your claim and its defense. Choose and narrow the topic. Now we will have some information about that. Decide a topic that is both controversial and interesting to you. It doesn't have to be one you're familiar with. In fact, you might want to select one that you have always been curious about or one that you have always wanted to learn more about so that you can argue your case more convincingly. You may initially feel that if you narrow the topic down, you won't have enough to say, but it is better to work at developing a focused topic than to leave a large issue undeveloped. And as you improve your writing and arguing skills, you will usually find that you have too much to say even about the most cylinder of topics. Write, write the sentences that express your claim. Now, this is. Once you have decided what you want to write about, formulate a single sentence that presents the central claim of your argument and write it on blank sheet of I think or people should, we must, it is true that, and blah blah blah. Gather ideas, brainstorm, and research. Now we will examine that topic. Writers generally get their ideas from two sources, uh, their own heads and the head of other people, usually other writers. As with the larger process of writing, the gathering of ideas doesn't proceed strictly step by step. Brainstorming is a method for generating ideas for a paper. Like other kind of brainstorming is spontaneous and wild. List, list supporting premises. First, when brainstorming for an argument, list as many reasons as you can to support your ideas. And let me clean the board. List opposing premises. Second, write down as many premises as you can think of oppose your claim. Think critically about your claim. Are you overgeneralizing in any way? Are there any exceptions to your claim? Think on paper. Now write down what you know or think you know about your topic. In this part of brainstorming, you are simply trying to create and gather ideas from your own mind. And let me clean off the board. Method of development. A very productive method for generating ideas is to think about the way we usually develop and detail our communication with one another. We tell stories, description before people and places, compare and contrast events or things, give examples, define our words, and so on. These methods of development can be very useful, both discovering the materials to fresh out the paper in permitting new thoughts in supposing your claims. We have narration, description, cause, effect, classification, and division, contrast, comparison, illustration, and lastly definition. Narration. A narration tells a story in chronological order. Description. A description gives us constraint, details. The cause are reasons for occurrence of an event, a decision, an action, and so forth. So causes, reasons, effect are the result. Results of an event, a decision, an action, and so forth. Classification and division. When we classify, we take a large group and break it down into the smaller and more manageable groups. Contrast. When we contrast two things, we show them dissimilar in important ways. Comparison, when we compare two things, we discuss similarities between them. Similarities between them. Illustration, we provide examples, examples to help clarify an opinion and defend a general comment. Definition. When we define a word, we tell our reader or our listener exact what we mean. What we mean by a word or a concept. Mm. Now we have another topic. Organize your idea. Ideas. Organize by premises. In deciding how to organize your argument, keep in mind that each paragraph in the body of argument will will be related somehow to your central claim. Claim. First body, second body, third body. Mm, Consider stated premises. When organizing by premises, be sure to determine whether your claim is supported by any unstated premises or assumption that may need to be defended. Organize by methods of development. Use the problem solution patterns. First one is state the problem. The second one is problem and give the state problem and give solution. The second one is to take solution and then look at the problem and motivate you to discover the solution. The third one is state the problem and consider alternative solution before arguing for your own. Now, use the relating part, the relative patterns. This pattern works best when you are trying to determine the worth of something according to certain establishing criteria. Use your opponent's argument before you decide exactly how to organize your argument. Consider what your opponents will say. Combine patterns. The most effective method for organizing argument is combine sum of patterns given. We have another topic. Let me write. Writing the first draft. Writing the first of an argument can lead you to more ideas and then you discover in your brainstorming, researching and organizing. In fact, the act of writing can inspire such creative that you may be surprised the ideas you are coming up with. Provide an interesting opening. You don't have to begin with your claim, but you can if it is startling and controversial or attention grabbing. Include a thesis statement. If you haven't already done so in opening sentences or to give a carefully worded statement of your claim, somehow in the opening paragraph. Developed your body paragraph. Paragraphs. Start each body paragraph with a topic sentence and develop the paragraph with the details that support your topic sentence. Provide a satisfying conclusion. Whatever method you choose to conclude your essay, keep in mind that your purpose is to end the essay to say goodbye, trying to do so in a manner that is pleasing and satisfying to the reader and that fits your purpose and your points. After the first draft, when you return to your first draft, you must be willing to see it as a rough sketch of what your final draft will look like. Read what you have written and revise. After you have written a draft of your essay and given your brain time to cook, return to your essay and read it again with a critical eye. Consider what you have not written and revise. Most important, consider what you have not said. Very often we are so committed to our viewpoints that we fail to examine the ideas and assumptions upon which those views are based. Show your work. Show your work to someone, a friend, a family member, a process, a tutor in writing club, someone who will do you the favor of critically reading your essay, edit your work. When you have revised your argument several times and are happy with the content and organization, look over your sentences very carefully one last time for grammatical mistakes, misuse or missing punctuation, misspelling, and typographical errors. Hand it in. Someone once said that good writing is never finished and it is just published. It's just published, or in this case, handed in. This is today we summarize writing argumentative essay, and this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening to me.